Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Randomania 3, where we have got a bonus bracket match in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Percent Tournament. This is game one of a best of three match. We've got Fryteeth on your left, Dr. J, PhD on your right. I am sitting here in the left-hand side of your booth. I am the Green Effect, and with me on the right-hand side of your booth is Norraster. How are we doing here tonight, my friend?
Good evening, Tej. It's going to be a wonderful night for a race.
It's always a wonderful night for a race. And of course, this being random percent, it's a wonderful night for a race. We just don't know what we're getting in the race.
And that's half the fun of this flag set. Most of our items are set to a 50% chance of on or off. It can lead to all sorts of insanity.
Yeah, having played a couple of these, there have definitely been some insane ones. We've had matches end in as little as 13 minutes. We've had some go 2+ hours. It's definitely fun putting the puzzle together. Hopefully we don't get one of the 2.5-hour seats tonight, but what we do have is a start screen right close to start, and good luck, we're all counting on you. What we do have is silver arrows, a power bracelet, and every Triforce except Triforce number 1. So that is a fantastic start there. So we do need all 8 Triforces, of course, to enter into level 9, but we only have the easy one left to get.
Yeah, and the other nice thing is we've got a sword here at start. We've also got silvers and power bracelets. So one of our exploration items taken out of the pool. It'll still be in a dungeon, but it's taken out of the pool of things we need. And silvers, which we may or may not need. We'll look at that in a little.
Yeah, also of note, we do have some red Octoroks here on some normal screens. They don't die to the wood sword, so that HP has been shuffled. We've got some red Darkness on the overworld, so that's never fun. Or they are at least a bomb dropper.
Yeah, and well, maybe. Because one of the flags that can change here is the bomb dropping groups. So, yeah, you can stab those red Darkness. They may not give you any.
Except the headache, because those seem to be 6 HP.
Fryteeth able to score some bombs here, so we'll help explore a little bit more at the start area.
So one thing I want to point out is so far everything is saying good luck, we're all counting on you. That tells me that whenever we come across the book, whatever it is, wherever it is, it's going to be the Rosetta Stone, which means we won't be able to understand the old men or anything else in the dungeons until we come across that book.
And from what we're seeing here, it does appear that we're going to have at least vanilla shop prices. It looks like that was a vanilla medium secret. We'll have to see the small or the large to confirm if we're going to have medium secrets the rest of the way.
And the other thing to note is if we are on vanilla shop prices, that shop with the candle is a very telling shop, actually. Because if the book were to be the boomstick, it would be in that shop because it takes the place of the most expensive shield. So, assuming we are on vanilla shop prices, which we see that we are, that tells me that we are not on a boomstick seat.
And Wizard's on the overworld too. The overworld is nasty.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those where you're happy to go into the dungeons because the worst thing you're going to see in there is Lionels.
Yeah, and we can tell bomb droppers have been swapped. The red Octorok was dropping bombs for Fryteeth and Dr. J based on what we saw on that screen. So it'll be interesting to see what actually gives us the bombs in place.
Okay, so that green level 3 there tells me that we are on a mixed quest overworld as well. Because if we were on vanilla first quest, it would be brown normally. If we were on vanilla second quest, it would just be a cave. But if being the green color there, we are guaranteed to be on a mixed quest overworld. That, of course, lends added credence to that power bracelet we started with, because in addition to the 4 spots where the any roads normally are, there are a bunch of other spots like the arrow, second quest 4's location, that the power bracelet can be used to access on that bound. So it looks like power bracelet is going to be at least be used for its vanilla use here, as the any roads do not appear to have shifted. Fryteeth going to take an up A and a save there to explore around start, and what we're exploring is a very, very pink dungeon. So this tells us nothing here. This tells us that obviously it's one of the dungeons we've been in because, well, we have the Triforce there. So all that dark room tells us is that somewhere in this set of dungeons, whether it's 1 through 6 or 7 through 9, that something is vanilla. If I were a betting man, based on where we were in that dungeon, I would say that pink dungeon was 6. But
it's got that 6 feel to it.
Yeah, it had that second quest 6 feel to it.
That's just not a great feeling at all.
Nope.
Yeah, we also did find our Armos item while we were starting. It's in the vanilla blue ring shop for first quest. It was our power bracelet, so nothing new there.
Nope, just the item being shuffled with the caves being shuffled, which is always fun. So now we are continuing our trek through Hyrule, and there were those Wizzrobes in the darkness that were on the overworld.
Yeah, the bunnies aren't much better.
Nope. Also, is that red levers dropping bombs?
It is. So both of our runners find bomb shops, one down on the coast, one up on Death Mountain.
Yeah, this has been a seed so far. Oh, interesting. Dr. J opting to hit the retry button as opposed to the save button there. So it doesn't keep the bombs, doesn't keep any of that. The only thing he really lost out of there was the bombs, does keep the 36 rupees. So interesting little retry. And one of the fun options out of the randomizer is the ability to save and then do a little exploration. If you don't like what you find, hit the retry button.
Yeah, especially in seeds where you end up with low resources. Like, this one doesn't necessarily look to be a bad resource setup. If you had a low, large secret or something, save you some money on some hints. But I think we have no hints too, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely from the looks of it. Although, the whole hit the retry button if you don't like what you're seeing, I want to hit the retry button on this seed because I don't like this overworld.
I mean, to be fair, just go find level 1 and you're fine.
We still have to find level 9, which could be reporter block, could be rat block. Heck, it could be ladder block because those two caves up on the path up towards the water. So it's a lot more complicated than just, quote, go find level 1.
It always is.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is an interesting thing here because finding level 1, seeing that I have 7 Triforces, I made a bit of an interesting how I go about this type of seed. Because there's a 50% chance that the items are in their vanilla locations. So there are certain dungeons that I'm going to be prioritizing more than others. That, of course, being depending on whether we're in first quest shapes or second quest. So if I go into a dungeon and it's level 1 and I'm in second quest, I'm not prioritizing finding the item in there, although it's going to be an easy item to find. I say that in this case because we've got 7 of the 8 Triforces. We'll use 2 as the example in this case then. So if we go into 2 and it's a first quest 2, we already have the Triforce, I'm piecing out right now. Because I know where it is, I can get back to it later. I want to find 1, I want to find my Triforce, and I want to see if 9 is free. The other reason I'm not prioritizing 2 in this setup here is with that 50% chance that items are in their vanilla locations, if it's a first quest 2, it's the blue boomerang. That doesn't help in any way, shape, or form to what I'm trying to accomplish here. There's no need to dig through it. What we do have here is this lovely light blue dungeon or Armos item.
We'll start in the M column here. We'll start to get an idea of what dungeon we might be in.
Well, considering the way that shaped or vanilla dungeons work, wherever we are is ladder blocked. Could be that this is First Quest 8.
Yeah, it does have that First Quest 8 kind of bottom feeling to it, that one choke point going north.
Interesting for Fryteeth. I don't know if I would have spent the key there per se. unless this room happens to have the ladder, which is great. But instead, we're going to get a Triforce, which is not going to be the Triforce out of level 1, because whether you're first quest or second quest, unless you're shaped, there's no way one has 4 rows in the bottom. So.
And while we're at it, the other Armos here in the forest also has level here.
Yeah, this one, a much different color.
That's one way of putting it.
Well, I mean, the first one had orange Wizzrobes, this one has blue Wizzrobes. My statement is correct. Also, that key's playing hard to get over there on Dr. J's side. I love it. So,
that's not fun at all.
No.
The Fires, Keys, and the Fires have quite. The Fires died of the bomb, but the Keys not as much.
They also died of the bomb, but there is a heart container in whatever dungeon we are in. Dr. J one-shotting that manhandle with a fantastic bomb and picking up a heart. And we know we don't need the Triforce out of this dungeon because we can tell you right now it's not level 1. That's Second Quest 7. Or looked a little bit like Second Quest 7. It might not have been, but it has the setup for Second Quest 7.
Also, look what else has a lot of HP. The Wallmaster. Yeah, that would make it very hard for us to have First Quest 8.
So, yeah.
This manhandle playing hard to get here for Fryteeth.
It could have been 2Q8. We may have been 1 row too high up, and it could have been that spiral row. So, Second Quest 7 and 8, not the worst ideas. That manhandle, also pretty bad idea. But yeah, 2 of the first 3 dungeons you're finding being Second Quest 7 and Second Quest 8, not high in my list of things I want to do with 3 hearts.
It depends on the enemy set. Yeah, this manhandle is kind of a jerk, though. But the good news is our runners will kind of get a reprieve. The Second Quest 9 is usually the nicer of the 3 setups that you can get.
I mean, Second Quest 9 is only nice in the fact that there's only 2.5 staircases you have to worry about for transport purposes.
Oh, and we find out what the Red Bumble Curse is. That is awful.
Yup. You can tell we've done these seeds a lot to the point where we've reacted to the same things in the same manner. Because of the 3 optional Red Bubble Curses, the one you quote-unquote want to see is the vanilla one, the Swordless Curse. Because that one you can pretty much mitigate for the most part. In the fact that you have, slow mode is awful, and then reverse controls is awful.
Yeah, so slow mode, not only does it make you slower and have to deal with the enemies at the same speed, it also takes away your ability to do any sort of clipping.
Yeah. I mean, not that you need to be able to clip to beat any Zelda 1 randomizer seat, because you shouldn't have to, but the ability to do so is nice.
Yeah, if you can clip fast enough in a room that's really bad, it's absolutely worth it. And our gems here are dropping quite a bit of health resources.
I'm not sure where we are anymore in this dungeon.
We're in it. That's about as much as I've got.
Yeah. I mean, in it is a good way to put it. I mean, I guess that could potentially be Second Quest 6? I'm trying to think, and I'm all confuzzled.
Yeah, it's really down to 4 at this point. It could also, I mean, it could always be shaped. That
It
is
could
always
always be shaped, yes. I mean, I'm so desensitized to shapes at this point. It shapes to me are normal. When I see the vanilla, I'm like, oh, something new.
I have a map for that. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
And then it's second quest 4.
Yes, I mean, there's nothing worse than getting yourself lost in the deep. No, seriously, the map's the shape of the letter D. But what we do know now is we're going to need at least the recorder to check what's under the lake at the first quest 2. So, recorder going to be a little bit more useful here, as there are many more recorder spots. We can have a look at Dr. J weaving in and out of those blue Wizrobe beams. That was fantastic.
That was absolutely fantastic. And then just getting tagged on the next screen.
Wizrobe's like, you dodge my brother, you will not dodge me.
Good news for our runners, though, is that the Magical Sword and White Sword are available. That is one of the upgrades Fred has added to the randomizers, that the sword upgrades can be turned into bomb upgrades instead. So we won't have the bombs, but, extra stabbing definitely works.
We both know you're a fan of extra stabby devices.
I like my White Sword and my Magical Sword very much, thank you.
Yes. I have heard the random noises, and hey, well, we all know who I'm cheering for.
I mean, with the likelihood of, the underworld being susceptible to Boomerang, that's not a bad pickup at this point.
Actually,
the overworld is not going to help you much.
The underworld is entirely susceptible to Boomerang, because the enemies that aren't susceptible to it are Dark Nuts and Wizrobes and Bunnies, and they're all on the overworld, so you're absolutely correct. And as I was saying before I got interrupted by Lord Banana himself, I've heard the noises that happen when you attempt to kill Gan with a wood sword, so yeah, Magical Sword, we all know it's a good thing.
So that does at least give us finally the information that Item Shuffle is on. We didn't have that confirmation until just now.
Now, Fryteeth trying to set up the clip to burn 2Q7, but the Wizrobe just off-kilter spawning, saying, absolutely not. That is a awfully gross screen for Wizrobes to be on.
Yeah, the first quest 8 screen just as bad with Dark Knight.
Yep, Wizrobes do not like you burning the forest. Apparently, they are playing their Smokey the Bear impression. Only you can prevent forest fires, and they're doing that. They're taking that to heart. One who does not have Triforce cannot go in them.
Yeah, so Dr. J just poking his head in, seeing if he can hear Ganon. Not a bad idea, finding 9. Just see if he's right there. It gives you an idea more of the earlier you find Ganon, especially if we think we've got second quest 9, the more likely he is to be required.
Well, that walk-in spot guarantees we have second quest 9, because that's the only place that could be. Shapes, you'll get the vanilla level 1, no level first quest 9. So we are guaranteed on second quest 7, 8, 9, just based on that 9 entry. As if we weren't sure about it from before. Also, I love the slow walking that Dr. J was doing, hoping to not run into Wizrobes. Did you catch that?
Absolutely fantastic, yet the Wizrobes just don't care.
Nope. I mean, the Wizrobes do not care at all. Fryteeth, happy to find a heart container finally. And then the Wizrobes say, no, you're not burning down the woods.
At least they're the red variety. So you can kind of dance. Well, kind of dance with them.
I mean, you can dance with them, and then you can dance because of them. I mean, nothing wrong with a little Hyrule twist, right?
I'm more of a polka fan, but
No, it's polka polka when the Lionels hit you. They polka polka you with the sword beams.
the Dr. J is going to take the long way around to get back to that second quest 7 screen.
Yeah, that is not a fun screen at all, and all that for 10 measly rupees.
And that does tell us that we probably have 100 secret as our large secret. So, fairly vanilla overworld setup as far as the shops and stuff go.
I mean, vanilla is good in the sense of it allows you to be able to accurately route in money when you know pretty much what you're going to have to deal with. Like, you know if you need to pick up arrows in the siege. You don't, of course, obviously, but you know you'll need 80 rupees. If you happen to run into a bait block, you'll need 60 for the cheap bait, 100 for the expensive one. So vanilla shop prices are nice for the simple fact of it's easier to route.
If you want a blue ring so you don't keep dying to whiz robes, that'll be $250.
I mean, I'm just sitting here watching the seed, and I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm not playing it.
Agreed.
I mean, I've played some doozies of seeds. Not nearly as much as you've played for doozies of seeds, but I've played some doozies of seeds. I'm looking at this overworld, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm really good.
Just one of those where you're rooting for your opponent to find one, the Triforce walk-ins, I'll be free, and you're just like, we're done. I forfeit. I'm out.
You're not quite at that level yet. You're only 20 minutes in, but this overworld is definitely one of those things where, yeah, if you're the person who loses this, you're highly considering turning Shuffle Monsters off as your remorse flag. Also, nice little 29 rupee gamble win from Fryteeth there. Yeah, the unfortunate thing so far about what we've seen with this overworld is dungeons have not been very forthcoming. So, I mean, the possibility, we may have to give you a Death Mountain, or my more favorite possibility is that most of our dungeons are item blocked.
Yeah, so we're going to have to dig some of these awful dungeons.
I mean, let's be honest, one's going to be Power Bracelet block, it's going to be the arrow up on Death Mountain. You're going to walk in, the bow's going to be on the ground, and it's going to be good.
I'm not playing the seed, so absolutely.
I mean, if you were playing the seed, the bow would be buried deep in that heck of a 7. Because 7.
Yeah, so our runners right now are kind of doing their best to keep from going to Death Mountain at this point. They're somewhat running out of areas to explore.
Dr. J going into this pink dungeon now.
I'm fairly sure Fryteeth saw this earlier. I don't know if we had any guess of what it was.
I said 6. But more Hyrule twist action happening. Never a fun thing when you have to worry about dying on the overworld. Dying on the underworld, still painful, but not as painful, especially when you die in a place so far away from your start.
Dr. J really wanting that key from that manhandler. Took quite a bit of punishment getting it, though.
Actually, taking a look at it, this could be 4. In fact, this is 4. That's First Quest 4.
That it does appear to be.
Well, that Triforce spawn proves it, because that's where spawns in 4. So that's First Quest 4 right there, actually. Yeah, the eye room there. Yeah, that's First Quest 4.
Also, I mean, that is good news for our runners that at least the first half of the dungeons are not awful to deal with.
Right, so knowing that, we can extrapolate a little bit what that dungeon we saw over in the forest was, too, based on knowledge of map. Based on that, there are only a couple of dungeons that fit the possibility of coming in at that second location, where it was. And it's probably First Quest 5.
That it very well could be. Fryteeth giving us our first look here at Death Mountain as Dr. Chase found the wand, and it's a very nice to have item, especially with what we're dealing with on this underworld mess.
Oh, absolutely. Considering everything just like the boomerang, everything in the underworld is going to be susceptible to that wand. And the only thing on the overworld that's not susceptible to it is the wizard, which does suck a little bit. But the wand is a fantastic kit because it gives you a ranged weapon. It gives you 2 HP worth of damage, and unfortunately, Fryteeth taken a death on Death Mountain right before getting into the hole.
Yeah, bunnies just wanted some loving.
I mean, don't you want to hug some bunny? Some bunny like you?
Oh, there's a room that's a problem.
Yeah, and it's blocking the way to whatever the 4-drop item is in here. Although, if I were a betting man, I would say it's a heart container.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think we've had Heart Shelter confirmed yet or not.
No, we've seen 1 heart on the ground. I'm getting called out in chat. They're asking me if I'm a betting man.
I mean, are you?
I'm not going to say that at the local casino up here, I walk in and some of the dealers know my name. But that could be a thing that's happened. Also, a thing that's happened is we've got a dungeon over here on Fryteeth's side that is not the dungeon in the forest.
Yeah, I didn't see where this dungeon was right off the bat.
No, but this has a very much a level 1 feel to it.
And based on that map, I'm pretty sure it's level 1.
What's horrible is the fact that my voice came through when I said a level 1 feel to it after the map got picked up, so it looks like I'm just being sarcastic.
There's a difference.
Yes. Ooh, Aquamentus ate his Cheerios today. So good news for Fryteeth is after finding what's here in this one, we can go to 9 and take a look around. That's what I would be doing. But I'm also crazy.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Bigger concern, depending on what we find in here, is going to be bow and ladder, which could both, in theory, be in 9.
I mean, in theory, absolutely, but I definitely take a look at this point just because Well, there's a heart container on the ground. Also doesn't confirm us anything. But I'm going into 9 because if we get the random, hey, Ganon is not required seed, then that's a huge advantage.
Oh, definitely. There's a chance that it's just over, just walk north, walk right into Zelda's room, and we're...
Yeah, so I mean, I absolutely am doing that, but I also, especially when I play seeds in tournaments, you can go back and look at most of the seeds that I've ever played. I tend to be a riverboat gambler when it comes to things like this, so that's the type of play I will absolutely make every time, no hesitation.
And in a flag set like this, it's going to depend on your confidence. Fryteeth is... Both of these runners are both very capable of handling low heart, low percent Ganon. I would expect either one of them to go in and not worry about what resources they have right now.
I mean, I'm still going to worry about my resources, absolutely. As you can see, Fryteeth picking up a bunch of keys here, which is going to be good going through a 9. You never want to run out of keys if you can help it. But I mean, I'm absolutely worried about my resources, but at the same time, say I go into 9 and I discover that, Ganon is required. You know what I have over my opponent? I get that information. So when they go into 9 and have to do all that routing, I've got all that mapping done. So I can just go back, kill Ganon, and be done with it.
And as one is often known for, you will full clear one most of the items in here are not revealing themselves to Fryteeth just yet.
I mean, if I have to choose what dungeon I'm full clearing, the 17 rooms in 1, not the worst option.
No.
The 33 rooms in 7?
No thanks.
The 58 rooms in 9? If we're talking first quest, of course.
I mean, you're gonna find all the transports first anyway. That's just how 9 works. And oh, there is the bow on the floor in 1.
That's huge. Huge. Interesting thing, Fryteeth not checking the last room, just in the off chance, what if it's the ladder in the staircase item? What if it's the red ring? I absolutely would be checking this out here. And yes, we do have the staircase, so it's just a matter of seeing what is in here. And
oh my this
God. This one is stacked.
But with that, outside of your hearts, and possibly
a Dig Dogger block. That's it.
But Dig Dogger, this is it.
I mean, that's the one you dream about right there. That was crazy. So, remember that death that Fryteeth took up on Death Mountain? We were lamenting it. Best thing that could have happened.
Yeah, we're gonna look at where that one actually ended up being.
The upper northeast.
Wow. I believe both of our runners were up there. I believe Dr. J died on that screen south of the letter cave, going up there.
Yeah, this overworld not being friendly, but this level 9 potentially going to be a little more friendly, as it is second quest 9, so instead of these 6 pairs of staircases plus 2 items, we only have the 2.5 pairs of staircases. I say 2.5 because one of those staircases is in fact a one-way ticket.
And there's a possibility that we've got Red Ring and Silvers forced into here, so our runners might find the Red Ring. They will not be finding any additional hearts, most likely. So far, no indication that Heart Shuffle is on. So, yeah. Not necessarily over, though. Ganon can be a troll, and 9 can still be vicious. We've seen plenty of racers have a substantial lead, and just 9 just drains you.
Yeah, 9 said, no thank you.
As we find the wonderful slow bubbles again.
Yeah, and the worst thing with slow bubbles here is it's in a room with lions. And thankfully here we can stand on the ladder and avoid most of it. But Lionels are anything with a projectile that you need to avoid. is infinitely worse when it comes to having to move at slower speed. I kind of want this item to be Silver's.
No, it's not.
It's the book. And I actually like picking up the book here for Fryteeth. Well, one, it's the Atlas, which helps definitely. Two, he doesn't have the wand, as Dr. J, wherever he is, has found the Any key, which is also very nice. But the book is also going to translate the old men, so if you come across any of the old men hints, Fryteeth's going to know what they say.
They may not help, but you at least know what they say.
Exactly.
And there's something no one wants to come across. Hello, Patra.
Patra in a shooter room, no less. Oh look, we get the book, there's the map. A little stabby action for the map there from Fryteeth.
Love it. Usually it's the compass that gets you. You find the Triforce, you find Zelda, then you find the compass. Here we find the book and then the map.
Yep, absolutely gotta love it. Dr. J being stymied by lack of ladder, and there's the other item, and it is the blue boomerang here in 9. Fryteeth doing the correct option and shunning the usurper.
Yeah, what that does mean is, though, Fryteeth will get no additional help in this 9 from anything, as far as even hints now, as we see, good luck, we're all counting on you as our message still. So, it's going to be a 6-heart wood sword green tunic Ganon fight.
Assuming Ganon is required.
That is true.
So, ooh, that's a nasty room.
Yeah, that's a room.
Yeah, so one other thing of note to keep in mind here is the fact that there's also a 50% chance that Ganon and Zelda are in their normal rooms. So one thing to keep in mind when you are exploring level 9 is you try to want to explore up, if that makes sense. You want to go up as far as you can to try and get to Zelda, and just heavily come across, oops, hey, I'm Zelda, I'm in my room. The other thing you see Fryteeth doing right now is killing all of these ropes, because we're looking for a compass, man.
And you still have the standard shutter door, as we see here. It opens, but the standard still does apply. You kill this room, it doesn't open. You found the answer to what you.
Oh, that's not a fun room either.
We'll have to see if Fryteeth can find a blue bubble room on his way through here.
Yeah, nothing fun about the slow curse. Trust me.
Dr. J is back in that level 4 at this point.
Which is interesting because he was ladder blocked out of whatever the second item was in here. So unless he's in here digging for bombs. Also, it's so weird seeing keystroke items.
Yeah, it's one of those flags that just I can't. I love it. I just can't get used to.
You know, the one that always gets me is the fun little flag of killable items. So you know how normally you can like fire the arrow or stab at an item with your sword to get it? They become things you can kill if you attack.
I've seen some interesting tactics with that, though. The ability to set up a count and kill the drop for a bomb.
Yes. You can certainly do some interesting things. And it looks like we have staircases in both of the ears. Or not. Just rooms that could be staircases in both of the ears.
Yeah, so we'll see where Dr. J heads off to now. We've got a couple of dungeons. He's got the dungeon up on Death Mountain. He's got the Any key out of. He's got 4, which he knows is ladder blocked. He's got what we think is 5, 7, and or 8 over in the forest, and just some space left to explore.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Dr. J here is we are getting the trip back over into the Grave and Death Mountain area. I say unfortunately because we know that's not the place we need to go. However, places we do need to go is this is Ganon in a moat room. We have one heart. We are slow moving. This is not fun. We want to see a. Well, I wasn't saying we want to hear a one HP Ganon, but that what we see there on the screen, there are some things that are nice and there are some things that are not nice. That was not nice.
No, and that's going to be unpleasant for a while. We'll see if Fryteeth, with that letter in hand, goes and finds a potion shop here. He's going to decide to go back into 9 and try again. He knows the route now, so he can probably avoid those bubbles a little bit better. But I would consider it just so that when I get to Ganon, I can get rid of that pesky issue.
See, I'm less considering doing it to get rid of the issue for Ganon, and I'm more considering doing it so I can have full health going.
Oh, but that's not even needed!
Oh, that's it! We have a surprise Zelda, and that's gonna do it!
Bomb through into Zelda. Fryteeth's gonna take this time of 39:53.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I love surprise Zelda so much.
Fryteeth was surprised. He almost
walked right through.
At that point, you're frantically typing done, walking, and like, what just happened?
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
And we didn't even get to hear the recorder tune, but it's a fabulous one.
It is. Beware of Forest Mushrooms is a great song. But yeah, so that stacked level 1 wasn't necessarily fully required with that bow. That ladder definitely made things a lot easier. But yeah, oops, there's Zelda. Meanwhile, while we are sorting out things on that side, we still have a Dr. J on the overworld here, making way through Death Mountain. Just has to be one of those. Every time you see, you're playing a seed, and you're still looking for that one piece of the puzzle, and you look over and you see the dock done, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, it's one thing if you're in 9, it's another thing if you haven't even gotten to that point, and you're just like, how? Why? You go into this mode where you think you've missed something extremely simple.
Yeah, and getting abused by the Wizrobes as you go through doesn't make it any better.
No, I mean, this overworld has not been nice. However, that is the right call, the right plot to take, and this is going to put Dr. J up in the area he needs to be in.
Yeah, more than anything, hopefully he will pick the ladder up out of that last room. I know Fryteeth almost abandoned it, and we'll see if we can chat with Fryteeth here.
Yeah, that screen full of blue darkness is not the friendliest screen there, because they bottleneck you. You only have really 2 options to get there. Your options, one is just to tank through or to try and screen throw around them, but Dr. J managed to get through with the 1 heart and does find his way into level 1, so he is going to be a happy man. And going to be even more happy when he comes across the map here in this room. Also, speaking of pancakes, like-likes don't look very threatening in this game. Have you seen the official art for them? What they're supposed to look?
I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, nightmare fuel, am I right?
They are horrible.
Yeah, it's like we joke about them looking like pancakes here, and let's be glad that we only had 8 pits to work with, because the concept art for like-likes is the scariest thing. Like, take the Ocarina of Time like-likes and add way too many teeth.
Yeah, they're kind of horrifying.
Kind of horrifying.
I mean, yeah.
But Dr. J does come across the Triforce here in one, and old habits die hard. Oh, there's a key in that gift. I gotta kill it. Oh wait, I have the Eddie key.
I mean, yeah, you forget sometimes that you've got that. Could be looking for bombs in the room, getting a bomb drop there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the. Oh hey, I see a dungeon. There's a locked door. I'm gonna pirouette. Oh wait, hey dummy, you have the Eddie key. I mean, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I've done it way too many times.
And that Gorilla apparently not liking whatever Dr. J was serving up, so just threw a boomerang at him and said, "Good day, sir."
You lose?
You lose indeed. Going full Gene Wilder.
That's the only way to do that.
I mean, yes. You're absolutely correct. Also, you were not expecting a Gene Wilder reference tonight, were you?
It was on my bingo card.
Really? Gene Wilder references on your bingo card?
I've done enough commentary with you.
I mean, fair, so we all know what the free space is.
Lord Banana.
No, free space is puns.
That's true. Dr. J getting the bow out here, trying to decide if he's going to go into the other. And with that, it sounds like we've got Fryteeth in here. How are you doing, Fryteeth? GG.
Thanks. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, good. After I was done, I've got to take my computer from one room to the other, and when I did, it decided it was time to reboot.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Dr. J's going to grab his ladder, get his Triforce out of 1 now, and I assume he'll be headed towards 9 now.
Yeah, so speaking of that 9, did you get a little excited in that room with Zelda just kind of walk right by her?
Well, if I recall, Ganon was in his room, right?
No, he was in a moat room.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you barely got enough time to check before he got you in there.
I'm so used to seeing Zelda in her own room that when I saw it wasn't her room, I just, kept going up. And then I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. Oops, we said the same thing. Oh, yeah. Going back to... Oh, wait, hey, there's Zelda. Oh, crap.
That's pretty much how it happened.
So I guess the biggest thing with this scene specifically was that overworld was brutal.
Yeah.
So thoughts about having to dance around Wizrobes and bunnies and Darknuts on this overworld?
The Darknuts don't bother me too much, although they did get me, or I would have been in level 1 good 5 minutes earlier. But it's those Wizrobes in the forest that just kind of phase in that always gives me a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the offset spawning Wizrobes on the overworld is the worst.
Yeah, the Darknuts got Dr. J just a little bit earlier. He was up in that area about 20 minutes in and got just run over by them and just never really wanted to go back.
Yeah, and then I almost made the mistake of, I decided I only had 3 rooms left in one. I should check for the items. I got the bow and almost didn't go get the other item, which I don't know if I needed the ladder in 9, but I think I did.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you have it, you don't realize that you needed it, and when you don't have it, you're cursing it the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And my favorite are these seeds where it's like, hey everybody, ladder's not required until you get to Zelda's room.
I had one of those once. I think I quit.
Yep, I think I've had one of those. Or I've had another seed where it was the only time ladder was required was to fight Ganon, because he was in a Chevy room. So I had to fight him on the bottom 2 tiles of the Chevy room. That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
You can, and you have to get very lucky with how you kill them, otherwise you can't get to the Triforce.
Sorry, I meant I know you can. I don't know if I can.
Oh yeah, I didn't think I could either. And I had a potion, 10 hearts, and a red ring, so lots of pops happened.
That would increase the odds.
But that's what Dr. J was looking for up here, was in fact a potion shop. So gonna pick up a bottle of the red juice and make his way over to 9 with my favorite item combination up in the A and B button, with sword and the banana.
Yeah, I was a little nervous heading into that 9, but 6 hearts and green tunic and wood sword. But
Yeah, never fun, especially with slow bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Your displeasure with the book and map was well noted. As you found your poor items in here.
Yeah, I was at least, even though I was slow, I was trying to get that one hit in on Ganon to see if, he was 0 HP. But I guess we'll never know.
Well, we might. Depends if Dr. J finds Ganon or Zelda first, because he is going the right way to find Zelda. Although opts to take the key door instead.
Yeah, going into 9 with only, I think I only had 2 keys when I went in there was also not comforting, but I don't think I used a single key in that level.
Yeah, I think you found one, and that's about it. I mean, Dr. J found the Any key. Couldn't tell you where he found the Any key, but he found it.
So it was on that screen you died in on Death Mountain, though. The push block up there was a dungeon.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I really didn't dig many. I only went a few rooms in all the other dungeons that I found. Not enough to identify any of them.
Yeah, we were having a hard time. That dungeon that was on the right-hand armhouse in the forest, we're sitting here, oh, that's second quest 8. No, turns out it was first quest 5.
That's what I thought. It turns out hidden dungeon numbers is a flag I like a lot.
It's a fantastic flag, especially with the combination of trying to figure out what you're dealing with. Is it shapes? Is it first? Is it second? I think it adds a whole lot of depth to the randomizer.
In fact, had I lost tonight, or if I lose game 2, that's actually my remorse flag, is to turn hidden dungeon numbers on.
I love it.
We're actually going to take on this Patrick in the shoot room here from the left side now. Wand will make it just a little smoother.
Yeah, but fighting a Patrick in your shoot room, whether you're coming from the left or whether you're coming from the bottom, still sucks, because of exactly what you see right here, is you're at the mercy of the Patrick deciding, I'm not going to come over to your side of the screen.
Let me fix that for you. Fighting Patra sucks.
No, not when everything is 0 HP.
Okay, if you're gonna be pedantic about it.
I am. Also, this Patra is having none of Dr. J right now. It's just sitting over there like, hey, everybody, look, I'm over here, I'm fine, there's not a darn thing you can do about it. Hey, let's wait, how you doing? Everybody's like...
Patra absolutely stealing the show here tonight.
Yeah, Patra, I got an intro, like, hey, look, here I am. Oh, you can't get me. Oh, you gotta be quicker than that. Oh, this Patrick is worse than the old fishing man with the dollar bill. Patrick just coming in and out of range just enough. I love it. Oh, Patrick finally stopped having fun there, though. He's like, I'm tired of this. I want to go home. I got paid for the evening.
We got your 5 minutes of fame, Patrick. Go away.
Beautiful. So yeah, I mean, aside from really like the overworld and the lack of resources going into 9, and I always love it when there's a staircase in the vertical shoot room there. Anything else you would like to comment on about this seed? Because aside from the overworld trolliness, it was fairly straightforward.
Yeah, no, the only other thing was, when we started and I paused and saw 7 Triforces, I was not happy. I'd rather have to go find 7 Triforces.
Yeah, no, I hear. Also, that staircase, super trolly there. Dr. J goes in the room above the the vertical shoot room, only to find out that the staircase took him back to the vertical shoot room.
It was fabulous. That one shoot room has had more troll in it than the rest of
Yes,
this.
that one shoot room is. Oh no, Dr. J! No! All you had to do was push through the wall! It was in the room below Zelda!
Well, he's now been hit by a red bubble, so, well, it takes 5 minutes to cross through the room.
Yeah. So, interesting question. Why are you on the boat of wanting to find 7 Triforces as opposed to having 7 Triforces?
I just think if you get a seed like this one where Ganon's not required, you know, it raises the luck factor a lot more. If you get lucky and you find that one dungeon you need really early, you know, it can be a 10 or 15 minute seed. And you know, if one of us had found one earlier, we could have been done in 20 minutes, given where 9 was and how easy 9 could have been.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I can absolutely, fully understand that take, and I'm definitely agree with you on that. Although I will say, having seen some of the start with all the Triforce seeds, they've led to some very interesting and exciting racing.
Oh, and Dr. J finds the compass in that one room left.
He's one room left of Zelda, so he's going to be right here. And because there's multiple shutter doors, he knows where he is, so that's going to do it. Going to find Zelda there as well. Shooting Zelda, being like, I'm tired of you. Not gonna. You have a comment there from Dr. J. Well, that explains how you finished so fast. But with that, Dr. J is going to go ahead and finish with an official SRL time of 55 minutes and 18 seconds. And we will work on, of course, getting Dr. J in here, if he so desires, for a little bit of post-race banter.
And while we do that, I'll kind of give us a quick rundown of what schedule is remaining. Over on our friends at Speed Gaming 2, they have Fred Coughlin versus Eat My Steel. That should be kicking off any minute now. And then tomorrow we have quite an interesting selection of games. We've got Nochimato versus Crimson Avix. That is a game 3.
And I want to point out real quick, since you brought both of them up, please make sure you send some thanks out to both of those people, because Crimson Avix is our restreamer tonight and Nochimato is our tracker. So yeah, a little friendliness before we get to the rivalry. And before we continue on with the schedule, we've got a Dr. J.
GG, Dr. J.
Thank you.
GG.
Yeah, that certainly explains how you finish so fast, Fryteeth. Apparently going that way was the right answer.
Well, funny thing is that room with the red bubbles that you up-ate out of was a walk-through wall right into her room, too.
Oh.
Like, if you go back and watch, you can hear, like, no, just walk through the wall. Oh, there's the compass. Okay, we're fine.
That and between the laughter about the Patra. How'd you feel about that little thing?
Oh, the vertical shirt room was just like, we're waiting.
Yeah, Patra had some fun.
Patra needs to, be more accommodating. Social distancing does not apply in this tournament.
No, it wasn't social distancing. Patra was simply staying out of melee range.
So yeah, Dr. J, you can kind of tell what happened. I feel like about the 20-minute mark or so, you were up in that upper east corner, ran into the Dark Nuts south of the potion or the Letter Cave, and that kind of sent you back off to exploring the world. And Fryteeth came back after dying on Death Mountain, where you found the Any Key to go back to that corner.
Yeah, finding the Any Key was nice, but it would have been nicer to go back where I was originally in that northeast. Yeah, I kind of just assumed it wasn't all going to be in one dungeon that was up there.
But it's always nice when it is.
Yeah, it's certainly convenient.
So with that, though, a couple questions. One, have you thought about your remorse flag here and what game 2 is going to look like?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be bomb upgrades for sword upgrades disabled.
We are guaranteed to get ourselves white sword and magical sword. Love it.
Can't leave Betty White out of it.
And that looks like we're kind of talking about the schedule. That looks like y'all are set for tomorrow at 8 p.m.
No, that's a 10 p.m.
10.
Or 10 p.m. I'm tired. Time's an abstract thing at this point, isn't it?
No, time's not an abstract thing. 2200 is 10 p.m. But, I mean, if you want to say time is abstract, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and tell you it isn't abstract.
Time is a flat bubble.
Time is a vertical axis, space is a horizontal axis.
Now we just need to get Teach to do math on stream.
No math.
Yeah, so with that, we've got game 2 tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing what the additional flags do.
Yeah.
Kind of any final thoughts on the siege of the overworld or anything? Let's start with
Yeah, getting out of the overworld was really important because everything was there.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. Fryteeth, any last thoughts on you before y'all go off to your corners again to rematch tomorrow?
Yeah, no, that overworld was pretty rough, but sure made 9 feel nice and easy, even with the slow bubbles.
Yeah, slow bubbles suck.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no way around that. So, T, do you want to wrap us up and get out of here?
I mean, I suppose I can do that. So, really quickly, if you have not done so already, please give both of our runners a follow. That would be twitch.tv/Fryteeth and twitch.tv/drjayphd. That is Jay, not just the letter J. For those of you watching without chat afterwards. As I said, please make sure you give our wonderful behind-the-scenes crew some love as well. That is Crimson Avix and Nochibado. And I suppose if you really want to listen to the two of us blather on, you can follow us as well. Again, on behalf of both of the runners, our tech team behind the scenes, and my commentary partner, No Racer, I am TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.